SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
I don't have to tell you that it's hot outside, but did you know your tires and oil degrade faster in hot weather? That's why it's important for you to pay a visit to Summit's Auto Center, Exhaust Pro Tire and Lube. We make tire replacement easy at Exhaust Pro with the Auto Pass Card. 1131 Highway 51 in Summit.
And now, Sports.
Get ready, sports fans. It's time for Chasing Foul Balls on SuperTalk Pike County 93.5 and streaming worldwide on the SuperTalk Mississippi app and on your Amazon Alexa devices. Chasing Foul Balls, your weekly source for all the sports news and interviews important to Southwest Mississippi. Chasing Foul Balls is presented by First Bank. And now, here's your host, Robbie Hamilton.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Friday edition of Chasing Foul Balls right here on SuperTalk Pike County 93.5. Glad to have you along. I guess this morning will be Ryan Rushing, the head football coach of Parklane Academy. Ron and the Pioneers headed up to the Brickyard in Jackson tonight to play for the Division II number one state championship. All those numbers from the
whatever it is.
Gets me all confused. Of course, I don't take much to confuse me, I understand, but that one does. Also, Marchant Kenney. Marchant, former linebacker for Southern Miss, member of the Southern Miss Hall of Fame and Athletic Hall of Fame. Marchant had his own podcast called Anyone, Anytime, Anywhere. Wonder where you got that title.
I don't know. I've heard that before.
Heard it before, yeah.
That's pretty original, so I gotta say that. With me in the studio this morning, TP. Boy, you have really helped us out this morning.
Well,
you have educated us like no one could do.
I live up to my nickname.
You do. So we'll have to change your nickname, though. We'll have to either go to 1, 2, or 3.
Okay.
TP.
Yeah.
To the right. What you laughing at? Replacing the old fart, Neil Randall. The young gun, Mr. Wes Nuttery. How are you, Wes?
Boy, the knowledge is swirling in here this morning.
You didn't know what you missed not being part of this, did you?
Boy.
Oh, let's go to work, guys. Real quick, if you can't listen in the radio area, you can go to SuperTalk Pike County and hit listen live up in the right-hand corner. After it's over with, you can listen to the podcast, Spotify, of course, any of the other podcast places that you can pick up your favorite podcast. Let's go to work. As much as I hate to, guess what the lead is today?
What's happening out in California?
Jeff Levy. No. Lane Kiffin, who amazes me how he can figure out ways to keep his name as the top person talked about. He has found more ways in the last 3 weeks to have his name, the number one name, talked about than I thought you could ever do. So here's my question. Number one, does Lane Kiffin know how bad it is within his own Ole Miss circle right now, the way it's going on, or is he in still his own world?
Robbie, I don't know. I mean, you would think he has to know how bad it is, but, coaches, they put themselves in their own little bubble, and they try not to pay attention to the outside world, so maybe he doesn't. I know that's not a straight answer you wanted, but that's the best I got.
Guys, I'd have to think that he does, because somebody might be telling him, hey, this might not be the best look or whatever, but he's trying to make a decision based on his well-being, and that affects other people, and whether it's positive or negative. But I think he probably has an idea, but it's the mess we're in, not based on something that he's done. Timelines and dates have set a lot of this to where you got to get something done quick.
He has done all of this. He could have ended it by either signing the contract or saying, I'm leaving. That's all it took.
He's trying to get a little more money.
No, How much more do you want? He's been on for $14-15 million a year. Yeah. You can't much more on me. Even his wife can't spend any more money than that.
I'll say this. If he's just toying with people, he's at the point now where he's doing it to his own detriment, because the Ole Miss folks that I've talked to have now gotten to the point where I don't really care if he stays or goes.
I agree with you, Wes. I think so.
That goes to question number 2. Does Ole Miss want Lane Kiffin back?
People I talk to, they don't care. They'd be just as fine if he left.
I think Wes is right. The people that I associate with and we talk about it, they're numb to it now.
Because look, they have been good to him. They have been good to him,
and he's been good to them. Mm-hmm. And he, but some of that comes what we knew, and the last 3 years or so has been really, really good. But now all of a sudden, because you're good, everybody else comes calling, and now you got a mess.
Question number 3. Where will Lane Kiffin be the head coach come December the 1st?
The betting answer's got to be LSU. I think Florida's fell to a distant third, and Ole Miss is a very distant second.
Does the daughter's boyfriend still play at LSU?
Yes, sir.
Well,
but the son still plays quarterback at Oxford High School.
I was getting ready to go down the family tree, but
I think there's a couple pretty good programs in Baton Rouge that he could transfer to.
How are you going to swallow the fact that our sitting head coach might be going to one of our biggest rivals within the conference, right down the road, next door? I'd say LSU right now, things have changed since last week, but they're getting ready to change a lot more.
If Kiffin is leaving Ole Miss, will Ole Miss allow him to coach a playoff game?
No, absolutely not.
I would say I'd hope not. How can you have somebody on the coach announce the head coach and they're sitting there recruiting your players?
Right.
He's going to take enough of them might follow him anyway, wherever he goes. But no.
Will they let him coach the Egg Bowl? Possibly. I don't know. We'll get ahead of you. I don't know your next question.
No, that's it.
But they want to win that game, so they might let him coach that one.
In my opinion, the minute he's announced it wherever, he's no longer my coach.
Who's the winner of the Egg Bowl?
I like State with all this turmoil going on. I really do. It's a lot of distractions.
Too much talent on the other side. If they just if they can focus regardless of what's going on, they're better than we are in a lot of places. We don't have the offensive line healthy enough right now to protect Chapin or Camario Taylor, but if you put him running, then you run the risk of, oh my gosh, he's our future, so to speak. And if y'all watch Keon Lacey the last couple of games and our run defense, so I just don't see, as bad as it might be on the other side, I don't see Mississippi State. I don't see my Dogs putting up very much of a fight. They'll put up a fight for a while, but lack of depth will come into play at some point in time. And Ole Miss is right now is just better.
Yeah, it's a fill in the blank question, Wes. Right now, college football is
a mess.
Richard, right now, college football is.
Well, I wouldn't say, since Wes got mess, I wouldn't say disaster, but it's close. It's a turmoil or mess.
How about unrecognizable? A game we didn't grow up watching.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's and unrecognizable from just a few years ago.
Unrecognizable from a few weeks ago.
That's right.
Yeah, they got to go back much.
That's right.
All right, favorite food for Thanksgiving.
That's a heck of a pivot, Robbie.
You know what? I had to get out of the Kiffin. I know my Kiffins, they got my head messed up again.
A honey-baked ham. That's my favorite.
A ham on the right.
Well, only pick one.
Well, you pick whatever you want. It could be like those you were explaining to us about. It could be a 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Well, that's probably what's going to be. You know,
whatever you want to do.
Obviously, I still either ham or turkey, doesn't matter, or maybe both. I got to have me some dressing and gravy, And
your wife's going to be busy.
And sweet potato pie.
Have you told your wife all that?
Well, she already knows.
Oh, okay.
That's a hey answer right there. You couldn't pick just one.
No.
But now whether I get it or not is a bigger question.
Have you ever, with the haze we have dealt with, have you ever been able to go to food and get one for an answer?
Definitely
never,
not.
Never been able to go get one for an answer. Always, no. Oh, boy. We ought to call Justin to ask him that. We could fill up another 30 minutes, couldn't we?
We don't have enough time for Justin to answer this question.
Remember, no chasing foul balls next Friday. I know you hurt to hear that of all this fine information we have put on you this first 15 minutes. But hope everybody enjoys the Thanksgiving. Have a good Thanksgiving weekend. We'll be out next Friday. We'll come back. We'll get started. Ron Rushing, the head coach of Parklane, will join us.
Well, there's a man down in Oxford sitting under Saturday night lights. He's built a battle wagon, but his mind keeps waking up in flights. There's whispers in the locker room and rumors on the rise about greener pastures calling under other skies. He says he ain't chasing money, no, he's chasing something more. But when a school like LSU or Florida's knocking at your door, he's walking a tightrope between home and a dream. All this cheers behind him, but that other spotlight gleams. He loves where he's planted, but the wind keeps whispering change. Lanes torn between staying true or stepping out into the rain.
Well, welcome back. Chasing Foul Balls Friday morning here in Southwest Mississippi. Randy, I like that late Gibbons though. Told it just like it be, we didn't. On the phone with us, the head football coach of the Parklane Pioneers, playing for the back-to-back state championships tonight. Coach Ron Rushing, how are you, Ron?
Doing good. Appreciate y'all having me on.
Yes, sir. Is Lane over the offensive or defensive coordinator at Parklane?
We'll probably throw him over on the offensive side.
I saw he had that shirt on. I was just wondering.
Hey, I figured why not? He's going everywhere else.
Let him coach the quarterbacks up a little bit.
Yeah, let me put it this way:
so.
if you can raise the money to pay him, I want to come stand next to you, just to say I was next to the guy that did it. Well, tonight's tonight, another try at the state championship. Look at the first question. The coaching staff went through this last year. A lot of the players went through this last year. Having that experience under your belt, is that a help to the Pioneers tonight?
Absolutely. Just, being in that position before, maybe eyes aren't quite as wide as they were last year. But going through the process and this week has been exciting for the guys. And I think they know what's ahead. So I think it's a big advantage for us.
Jax Toller last year, the championship game, had an unbelievable game. Who gets the carries now that Jax Toller is gone?
Well, Tanner Kaiser stepped in. He was a 200-yard rusher per game. Got hurt week 5. He's back healthy. Thank goodness. He'll be the guy toting the ball, and then really going to game plan up getting the ball to Caruth and Dooley Copeland and Brendan Ellison tonight. So probably be 4 or 5 guys touching the ball tonight instead of basically just one last year, too.
Coach Wes Nunnery here. Good to talk to you this morning.
Yes, sir.
The opportunity to go back-to-back, it doesn't come along very often. Usually when you climb the mountain, you get comfortable and you lose attention to detail. So to overcome that, you generally have to have good, strong, player-led leadership. Who have been the guys that have emerged on this team that have really taken the rope and not letting it go, that when they speak, everybody else listens?
Yeah, I think our vocal leaders are Rock Baskin, our left tackle, the Army commit. He's kind of our leader in the weight room, leads us through our stretches and our routines. Jace Jones is another vocal guy on the defensive side. He kind of puts our defense together, make sure we're lined up correctly. Got a big group of guys. Really, Kyle does a good job of being vocal. My son. So it's a group of them. We got some underclassmen that are vocal. So hopefully they'll learn from the older ones next year and kind of keep things rolling.
Coach Rushing, this is Richard Hay. Seems like just yesterday or last week you were sitting in here. We were kicking the season off and all the summer workouts, and here we are, playing for another state championship. What have you learned most about this team in the journey this season?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I said, what have you learned about your team that you maybe didn't know or see from the beginning of the season to now?
With a lot of returners coming back, it is a different team. It's a different chemistry, different leaders, some younger guys up. I learned this team really likes each other. They're really good friends. First part of the season, I think we had a hard time of holding our friends and teammates accountable, but just preaching to them and talking to them, they got more vocal and kind of holding each other to the standard more, middle of the season on. Great group, talented mixed group, linemen, skill guys, and might not be the best practice players Monday through Thursday, but on Friday nights they flat out get after it. They play with a lot of effort and a lot of pride.
Coach, it's Wes again. You tee it up with Heritage tonight, which is a program that has always been a strong team up in the north part of the state. A lot of folks in this part of the state might not be familiar with them, but what kind of challenges do they present? What do they do well, and what areas can you possibly exploit tonight?
Yeah, Tobias Smith is their head coach. He's a former Mississippi State lineman, so they're physical up front, big up front, do a great job scheme-wise. We're very talented at the receiver position and the quarterback position. The quarterback's got a great arm. He'll throw the ball 60, 62 yards downfield and can also run. So that poses two challenges, keeping them in front of us, not giving up the big play, and then keeping him contained so when he does pull it and run it. Defensively, they're a 3-4, kind of like a 5-2 at times. They play a lot of man, which I think is good for us, and they play some quarters. So feel like we can get the ball to our playmakers a little easier. Probably going to throw the ball a little bit more than what we usually do, but feel like special teams is an advantage for us also.
Coach Rush and Richard Hay, once again, talk to me a little bit about things that, in Coach's Coach, some things that you started the season and you're better at today, and some things that even here we are, the day of the state championship game, Ron Rushing still says if we can just be better in this area right here, we've got a lot better chance to win.
I think we've got to start better than what we usually do. Early in the game, we usually give a series away. I don't know if it's mental preparation or what it is, but I think we've got to have a really good start tonight. Don't need to get behind. Last week we didn't start great, kind of lost a lot of energy in the first half. I think there was more pressure last week than this week just to get back to the state championship game, but I just think we need to do a better job of starting.
Coach, we talked a lot about the offensive side, but who's the leaders on the defensive side for the Pioneers?
Yeah, our defensive line is to me, the heart of our defense. It's a different group. We got a tall one, we got a wide one, we got a quick one. They fit really well together like a puzzle, and they wreak havoc on the backfield of offenses. Kelvin Jefferson, Paul Forrest, you got Wick Lindsey and Hayden McCurley, great mixture of guys, and they apply a lot of pressure. Jace Jones is the guy that lines us up correctly, make sure we're in the right coverages. Jay Aldridge and Nick Young. Nick's been a really surprise this year. Not surprised when you could do it, but losing Eli Davis at our rover position, we really didn't have a lot of kids that we thought could fill that spot, and he's taken it since day one and ran with it and done really well. And then we got 4 juniors in the secondary, Eli Chandler, Slade Steele, you got Duda Jackson, and then Duda Copeland plays a little corner, and they're really athletic. They're going to have to play well tonight.
Well, Coach, the big question. Last time for Ron Rushing to coach his son on the football field. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, it popped in my head a few times the last couple weeks. Had my older son, Tate. He's 21 now. I coached him since he was in elementary ball. And then so I think we added it up. I've coached one of my sons for the last 12 years. So it's going to be it's a special moment to be able to coach in the state championship game with him. And it's been a fun ride, but it would be awesome to, we won one last year together. It'd be awesome to win another one.
Coach, it's Wes again. I just want to say, as a Parklane alum and a former player, I just want to say we're happy to have you leading our troops. We're proud of you. We're behind you. And good luck tonight, and let's go get this thing done and bring another one home.
Man, I appreciate that. It's been an awesome place. The support, the administration here. I did my homework also 5 years ago. The administration here is solid. The board lets Mr. Henderson do his job, and it's just a great place to be, and I appreciate the support of our community and alumni more than they know.
Is it good to be playing this championship game at the same time you play your regular season games? In other words, would you rather play at 7 o'clock tonight, or would you rather get that 3 o'clock game in the afternoon?
I like the 7 o'clock game just because you don't change your routine, that you've been using for 12 weeks, 13 weeks. Brought them in this morning. I didn't like that we didn't have school today, so we brought them in this morning, fed them breakfast, get them out of bed. Some of them sleep till 1 o'clock. Get them moving around. We're going to come back up at 1:30. We do our game day lift in the weight room at 2, which is the time that we always do it, and then we'll eat at 2:20 and pull off at 3:30.
Well, Coach, good luck tonight, and bring that second big old trophy back home to Pike County with you.
Appreciate y'all. Go Pioneers.
Go Pioneers. Good luck, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Coach Ron Rushing, the head football coach of the Parklane Pioneers. They take on Heritage tonight for the championship in the 4A Division II. Already played in the championship games. ACCS brought the Division 3A Division II trophy home. They beat Marshall 28-22. Does Marshall ring a bell to you?
A little bit. Yeah. A little bit.
They made the state championship after they threw the ball game to get to a lower classification.
Worked out for them, didn't it?
I was just getting ready to say, you do something like that, and that's almost like rewarding. I guess someone to go.
But he ain't gonna get his money back. That's the whole thing. River Oaks beat Humphreys 20-8. That was 1A Division I. Tri-County had an unbelievable ball game last night. Leak beat Tri-County 25-24. That's the 3A Division I. Leak kicked a field goal on the final play of the game to beat Tri-County 25-24. This morning, they'll be playing, let's see, it'll be Friday, 10:30 this morning, 1A Division II, DeSoto and Tallulah. Then there will be Division 2A, Division 1. Centerville Academy plays Lee at 3 o'clock this afternoon. And then Parklane and Heritage tonight. Excuse me. 3 more games tomorrow, Winston Oak Hill, Brookhaven Academy, and Lamar. And then the big one to finish it all up, Jackson Academy will take on Hartsfield. So that's the way that the private school will play their state championships for Friday and Saturday. We'll come back. We'll talk to Marchant Kenney right after this.
Sports. And now sports.
You're listening to Chasing Foul Balls on SuperTalk Pike County 93.5 and streaming everywhere on the SuperTalk Mississippi app. Chasing Foul Balls is presented by First Bank and brought to you by East Macomb Body Shop and Guy's Pharmacy. Now back to Chasing Foul Balls on SuperTalk Pike County 93.5.
Well, welcome back, Chasing Foul Balls on this Friday morning. A reminder, no Chasing Foul Balls next Friday morning, taking the weekend off for Thanksgiving. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving weekend. In the public schools now, they are playing their South State semis and some of them the quarters in 5A, Wayne County and Brookhaven. In 4A, boy, there's 2 great games. Macomb and will take on Tyrone Keys and Poplarville. Columbia gets past Christian. And in 3A, Franklin County plays Seminary. And in 2A, it's Mines and East Marion from my area. So a lot of great football tonight, whether it be the championship games on the MAIS side or the division playoffs in the MHSAA. Joining us on the phone, Mr. Linebacker himself, Marchant Kenney. How are you, Marchant?
Man, what a time to start my Friday with you guys. I'm honored to be on, doing really well, and anytime I can talk SMTTT, give me a call. Give me a call, brother.
I tell you what, don't try to butter us up. We don't ask the hard questions after that.
Man, anybody knows, I was a student athlete, but my GPA wasn't that high. Let's just call it what it is. So feel free not to ask me too
Don't worry.
Highly educated question.
We got three on this side. We got three on this side, and we can add it all up. Probably wouldn't equal up to yours. So we're in good shape. First question is a difficult question. What is your favorite food for Thanksgiving?
My favorite food for Thanksgiving would have to be the stuffing, man, and put a little gravy on it. Oh, man, I could eat that all day.
Oh, Lord. Y'all are killing me. A fat boy gets hungry real easy.
Man, husky. Not fat husky, man.
No. This is all fat boy here.
Oh, is it? You're going thick. Let's just go thick.
I could say fluffy. That may be the right word.
Fluffy?
Yeah.
Come on, though.
Marchant, this is Wes Nunnery here. Thanks for joining us. Let's get into the good stuff. Southern Miss has had a long, storied history of good linebacker play, man. I don't have to tell you that. You're one of them. And you got the next two in line in this defense right now, Chris Jones and Mike Montgomery. They're the top two tacklers in the Sun Belt, and both top 10 nationally, I believe, if my research is correct. In your opinion, what makes these guys great? What makes them special?
Man, they fly to the ball. You can watch the energy level that they have when the Nasty Bunch is really on point, and they're kind of the heartbeat of it. And they just fly to the ball. And I've watched Chris Jones in particular, and Montgomery's doing a great job. But I've loved to see the development of Chris Jones this season. What's been fun about him, first game, Mississippi State, kind of just flying around, which is great. I love the aggression, but you got to get yourself under control. And he's done an incredible job of taking all that talent he has and just playing with controlled aggression. You can be aggressive, but you got to control it a little bit.
Marchant, this is Richard Hay. As I said, great to have you. I guess when I talk with players that played, 30-something years ago, and you look at the game today, how that connection is. But my question is specifically, how is Coach Huff like Coach Bauer? I mean, what are the similarities there that you see every day that make this a winning program?
So, Coach Bauer's word was the law. And he created an incredible environment to play in. But the last man on planet Earth I wanted to tick off was Coach Jeff Bauer. I promise you that. And Coach Huff brings that kind of vibe to Southern Miss, a process. It's a daily process. He's one of those guys very similar to Bauer. It's not about the wins and losses. It's the process, doing it right, doing it disciplined, doing it organized. And you do all the things right. Every day of the week, every minute if you can, good things are going to happen. And it's just a disciplined approach, which is very key for young people. I needed that, my 18-year-old butt back in the day. And, he's created an environment of discipline and trust in the process. That's definitely something Coach Bauer and Coach Huff have similar.
Marchant, it's Wes again. Looking at last week's game, I know we're on to a different week now, but the defensive performance against Texas State was just, it's no way to sugarcoat it. It was bad. There was nothing was going right. As a defense, as a unit, how do you overcome a performance like that? How do you keep that from sticking in your mind and letting it snowball on you?
Yeah, it was bad last week. I was there, and, Charles Barkley, I heard he said it was terrible. So, I mean, that's how bad it was. So, terrible. But man, it was. I don't know what happened, and what stinks, as you guys have heard, Southern Miss seems to have these moments every now and then. Things are going great, and all of a sudden, what in the world just happened? And, but the defense, it was tough having Braylon out, but the Nasty Bunch was just, they were off. And but what I saw this week that was pretty neat, as you guys know, we've never beaten South Al, and that's that's a hard pill to swallow. So I don't know if you saw at the Rock while they're practicing this week. He put up 0-5 against South Al on the big board while they practice. So they got to look at that every day. And I'm pretty sure knowing him going to the next game, and sometimes these things happen, and you hope it was just a glitch, and we're back on the process. And I know Coach Huff is challenging those guys this week.
Who will be the quarterback Saturday against South Al? Will it be Braxton?
Man, I wish I had a crystal ball to tell the future, but man, you just hope it's Braylon. The Nasty Bunch did perform well last week, but Braylon Braxton is the undisputed leader of that team. And when you take the heartbeat of the team away, I mean, it affects the pulse heavily, and that's what happened last week. A lot of it, the things are off, man. And we got good backup quarterback play with Liddy, but it's not Braylon Braxton. So I just hope it's Braylon. I heard he's about 85%. A PCL is an uncommon injury. We'll just see what happens. But Liddy's a good quarterback, but Braylon's the pulse of the team, man.
Marchant, this is Richard Hay once again. Talk to me a little bit about when you watch the game now and you think back about when you were playing and you've watched a lot of Southern Miss football, a lot of college football, about how, we could have done this back then, or, boy, if we'd have had this, or we'd have had this piece of technology or this whatever, we could have been even better than we were. What are the things about the differences now that are still differences, but they're similar?
Well, one thing I can't adjust to are linemen with quarterback type face masks, man. I come from a time
Amen.
big, mean, angry face mask. I had a mountain of a neck roll on myself, and just the gear I got to adjust to. I miss big shoulder pads. I miss neck rolls. Some of these guys coming out with biker shorts up to their mid-thigh. And I don't get it, but, I guess it's just. But as far as just the game and watching it, it is still an aggressive, violent game, with big boy football. But, different a little bit back then. It was, he's running the teams more than 50% running the ball. Now everybody spread it out. And you got to adjust your defense to that. And I definitely watch defense heavy. And I'm pretty fascinated, all these defensive coordinators have to adjust to spreading it out all the time, and they can't really do exactly what they want to do. Great tempo, but it's really hard with these fast-paced offenses and the gun spreading out all the time.
I want to see an AI picture of Marchant Kenney in knee shorts and small shoulder pads.
Man,
if a face mask, it's just a little small face mask. That would be worth seeing, wouldn't it?
Man, if I showed up to practice or a game with them little bitty pants, Coach Bauer would say, "Get your bleed back in the locker room and put some big boy pants on."
Big boy pants. 1997 Liberty Bowl you played in. What's your favorite memory?
Man, so can I give you two?
Go ahead. You got it.
So, it was before the internet really kicking, and I didn't know how many people would be at the game. I knew it would be a big deal, New Year's Eve, or the champ of Conference USA. Playing Pittsburgh, a traditional power. And, I came out as team captain with Pat Surtain, Tyrone Bowen, and Latrell Pollard. And as I turned the corner to come up with the coin toss, I looked up, and you remember the crowd. You could see it. They had to be 25,000 plus. Man, and, I was a big rah-rah guy. I get the crowd up. And I tell you what, I've said this so many times. If I could sell this energy, I'd be a gajillionaire. So I looked up at the crowd, and I just went, wow, get up. And, man, it felt like lightning bolts hit my body because I was like, I turned to Pat Surtain and Latrell. I'm like, man, Pitt's not winning today, And then sure enough, end of the game, my second memory favorite, if anybody remembers anything about me, it's Lee Corso had picked against us for whatever reason. I'm like, man, this guy didn't watch film. And, end of the game, it's 41-7, Southern Miss is up, and I'm finding the camera, and I'm like, hey, Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend. If anybody remembers anything, they remember I'm the not so fast, my friend guy. Call him Lee Corso.
Marchant, I want to circle right back around to Braylon Braxton real quick. As things have played out here, this game against South Alabama tomorrow, I want to say doesn't matter because they all matter, but if things have unfolded, win or lose tomorrow, you have to beat Troy to win the West. So there is an argument out there and a school of thought of sitting Braxton and maybe some other starters, getting them healthy and resting them up. In your opinion, as a former player or just as a fan, do you agree with the idea of resting players? Is it something you would do?
I do not agree with resting certain players if they're ready to go. I mean, if somebody, 80%, 85%, it's just what's on the horizon no matter what. You got a massive game next week, and there are no throwaway games. We've never beaten South Al. We got to beat them. It's frustrating for the fan base, and we got to get over that hump. Now, as far as Braylon Braxton specific is concerned, if he's 85%, there's just too much ahead of us with the Troy game and the Sun Belt Championship right there. And I wouldn't play him if he's not 100% this game. But if you can play anybody else, you better get on the field and strap it up.
Marchant, this is Richard Hay once again. As a former linebacker, how would you scheme against the talented linebackers you have, especially Chris Jones? The games I've watched of Southern Miss, I can just watch him all day because he disrupts the play the minute the ball is snapped for the most part. How do you scheme against that from the offensive side? And if you're a defensive coordinator, how do you move him around to give him the best opportunity to disrupt things?
Yeah, it's interesting, too, with the teams nowadays, offensive play callers have. In the Mississippi State game, if I'm going against the Chris Jones, I'm trying to spread you out and just get to where it's a numbers game. And if you remember in the third quarter, State just pounded the ball down our throat because we had about 5 in the box, and they had 5 in the box plus the running back. So if you get a hat on a hat, I don't care how good you are at linebacker, or, a lineman coming downhill at you to get off the block that fast. That's what I would do. I would go right at it if I could. Just because it's a hat on a hat, defense is still spread out and negate his speed. East and West, tough on that guy. I tell you that to really get to the sidelines. He flies to the football. But yeah, that's kind of some of the things I might do because I saw State do it very successfully. Even Jackson State did for a little bit. Just get a hat on him and have that running back come downhill really fast, trap play, dive play, to where it doesn't matter if you get off the block. He's already down the field 5 yards. Numbers game.
Well, Marchant, we'd break a radio rule if we didn't ask you a Lane Kiffin question. You know that. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Don't tell anybody this. I am not an Ole Miss fan. Don't ever. I can't believe it.
Don't ever associate me with that school. But I like Lane Kiffin, man. And don't tell anybody I said that, please.
I can't believe a Southern Miss linebacker would say he didn't like an Ole Miss school.
I like Lane Kiffin. Just Ole Miss, man. Don't get me started.
Where will Lane Kiffin be coaching December the 1st?
Man, so I live in Lafayette, Louisiana, so I got a pulse of LSU and that fan base. And, man, that would be nothing but successful if Lane Kiffin came to LSU. And, Ole Miss is I know, putting a ton of money to make sure he stays because, he's got something special going on up there. But, Florida, too, has got the money, and there's just so much money. But I tell you what, one thing, no matter what happens with him, I would not do these 10-year contracts where it's a $50 million plus buyout. I don't know what in the world these SEC athletic directors are doing. Because, I'm telling my son, man, you know what you want to be when you grow up? A fired SEC coach. That's what you want to be.
Well, have you seen the latest talk where if Kiffin comes to LSU, that Ed Ogeron has been approved to be on his coaching staff? Now, that would be a thrill.
I'll tell you what, I wasn't big with Coach O being away from LSU. I mean, you talk about the poster child for the state of Louisiana and the Bayou and everything that people love about Louisiana, man. You can get Coach O on that staff, just marketing alone, and his interviews are so much entertainment. Heck yeah, you get Coach O.
Marchant, thanks for taking the time to be with us on this Friday morning. Have a great Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you later.
Happy Thanksgiving. Southern Miss to the top. Let me sneak that in there.
Go ahead. Thank you, Marchant. Appreciate it.
All right. See ya.
We'll come back. Big Daddy next. Well, welcome back. Chasing Foul Balls on a Friday morning. Richard? Do you use spray dip on the job that you do? Robbie Stewart was talking about using spray dip on cars.
Well, you can. A lot of it now is done by the computer. The computer kind of zeroes in on where they are, sprays, and everything's good.
I think that's what we need to do for the professor is get him a spray dip.
He'll have to have approval for that before we could do that. He couldn't do it without approval.
The key thing is you got to be able to shut one of them off sometimes.
Looking for a bank that feels like home? First Bank is here for you. 14 locations across southern Mississippi. We're your local bank for checking, savings, loans, and more. Whether you're buying a home, starting a business, or you just need everyday banking made easy. First Bank ready to help. You can stop by your nearest branch, or you can visit firstbankms.com. First Bank, where customers and community matter most. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. And Big Daddy, what's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Ooh, Robbie, I like the traditional stuff a little bit, but every once in a while I like to go out and do something like oysters for Thanksgiving or something like that. I mean, something off the beaten path. You know me, you've seen me, everybody knows me. There's not much you put on the plate I don't eat. So,
such a distinguished palate.
That's it. That's all of us sitting around this table right now. We have the same problem.
Yeah.
If not Kiffin, who will be the next Ole Miss football coach?
Oh, I don't know if he's even been able to think that far ahead, Robbie. We're kind of still in this dilemma about what will happen with him. I really don't know. I don't have a name on top of my head. They're going to be the same usual characters that get floated around for all these jobs. Jimbo Fisher, I would assume, and maybe even Nick Saban again, But I think it would be somebody that you probably weren't expecting to be there.
Big Daddy, this is Richard. We were just talking to Marchant Kenney, and I asked him, or we were talking off the air about, as painful as last week was, is it somewhat kind of in the cards that you're playing a team that you're 0-5 against up to this point to kind of refocus everybody, even though you didn't lose anything with the loss, but to help them get back on track, you're playing a team that you can put that 0-5 banner up there and say, guys, this is important.
Well, I think the coaches are doing a great job of doing that. It is probably a blessing when playing somebody like that. I can't explain what happened last week. Sit there and watched every minute of it, and just like a whole different team. But I do think it started with the fact that Braxton was injured. I think I don't know whether the coaching staff did a good job or a bad job with that. They put him out there with warming up with the first team, and they even announced him as a starter in the stadium. But I don't know whether that was the right idea. Maybe there was some letdown when he didn't go out there, and it affected the whole team, I think. But we've got to get past South Alabama, just get that monkey off our back, and I think that's a good time to do it this week.
Big Daddy, I know you've watched all of the MAIS championships up to this point. Of the games you've watched, who's been the most impressive team? What stood out to you the most in these games?
I think the quarterback at Leak, I can't think of his name, but at Leak Academy.
Yeah, just call him Big Boy.
George Wilcox. I can tell you who he is.
Yeah. He's been real impressive to me. What I saw, he's a big quarterback. He throws the ball well, and a player that has a lot of local connection here. The All-Britain boy at Tri-County Academy, Barney's grandson, had a heck of a game catching the ball, and boy, is he a big, tall talent.
The crew All-Britain, yes, sir. Let me ask you this, Parklane and Heritage tonight. Can Parklane win back-to-back?
Well, back-to-back's very difficult. Tip of the hat just to even get there. But I tell you, Ron Russian has his finger on the pulse with his Parklane team. He kind of needs, knows when to push what button, and he's got their attention playing. I think think the worst thing they could guard around is like a letdown just because they think they've been there before. But Ron does an outstanding job. He runs the type of offense that you probably see at the college level. Wes and I have talked about this a good bit. He's one of the few high school coaches that in that league you see that signals their players in from the sideline, and he scripts things and all like that. I think that gives him a leg up on everybody else. He's a tremendous coach, and he's really got a talented football team, no question.
Big Daddy, this is Richard again. Short trip down to Mobile. Are you and Little Daddy loading up the RV and heading down there?
No, we're not going to make this one. We're going to sit here and watch it at home on the TV, and it's I think it's a game we didn't plan on going to at this point in time, and we would have gone. Things had worked out a little bit differently, but no, we're going to watch it from here at the house.
Is there any rule when you and Little Daddy watch the ball game about throwing stuff at the TV?
Say that again, now, Robbie, I missed it.
I said, is there a rule when you and Little Daddy are sitting there watching the ball game about throwing stuff at the TV?
Oh, you don't know. I don't throw stuff. I don't get it.
There's no rule about colorful language either. I can add that in there, too.
I knew that one. I didn't have to ask you that question. All right, who wins?
Well, it's terrible. It's terrible for an old man like me to get nervous in a game, but when we were playing Arkansas State, I got so nervous I couldn't hold my cup of drink in my hand, so...
I'm not going to ask what else you couldn't hold, so we'll just move on. Pass Happy Central, or will it be Lee in a 3 o'clock ball game this afternoon?
Oh, how you bet against Central? They get there, they always pretty much deliver. Central to me has gotten better as the season started. I didn't think they started out very well, but they seem to be able to match whoever they're up against, and I'm Central all the way.
Big Daddy, have a great Thanksgiving. We're off next week. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
Hey, very good. Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. See you later.
Thank you, sir. Well, guys, Macomb and Poplarville with tie keys. Who you got?
It's going to be a really good game. My money's on the home team, but that's going to be a great ball game.
Yeah, and it was a really, really good one last time. 1 point win for Macomb, and so that gives Poplarville a little extra fight. But they got to come to the Tiger Den two times, and I see Macomb taking care of business this time too.
A surprise may be that 5A game, Wayne County and Brookhaven at Brookhaven. Who you got there?
Brookhaven has been awfully strong.
Yes, they have, and they're playing at home. And they're tough. Boy, them in Wayne County have had some legendary games.
Slobber knockers.
I mean, great ones. And this one won't be any different, but I'll stay with the Panthers.
Will the weather make any difference in these games with the little bit of rain we had and a chance for more?
It certainly doesn't help, but I don't think it's been enough to be too much of a problem.
I don't see it because it's if it's rainy, it's going to be a light rain or a mist, and the only thing is if it was a driving downpour or something like that, but I don't see that happening. I don't think it'll affect it.
Well, we'll be back in 2 weeks together. Hopefully the Lane Kiffin saga will be over. We can actually talk about something different next 2 weeks on Friday morning. Randy, you have a good Thanksgiving. You guys, y'all have a good Thanksgiving. We'll see everybody in 2 weeks.
So it's a compliment to what we built ourselves. He's walking a tightrope between home and a dream. Hope is tears behind him, but that other spotlight gleams. He loves where he's playing, but the wind keeps whispering change. Lanes torn between staying true or stepping out into the rain. tightrope between home and a dream. Ole Miss sings his name, but a bigger stadium screams. He says, "I'll stay for the family, stay for the fight." But when that wind change blows, it could steal him into the night. Walking the tightrope, maybe the hardest walk he's known. And when these days are goes, he ain't walking
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.